we'll go back on this side. Your cap is set up towards the operator if you're standing up or on a table, so it's very easy to pour gas in there. Most companies or most manufacturers have it on the opposite end where you have to tilt the saw, so a little bit more comfortable to put the gas in. The cap it has an S-shaped design. It has little slots. It's meant not to be tightened with a screwdriver or a wrench. We are notorious to tighten this guy super tight with a screwdriver or a wrench. You cannot do this with this cap. I know you guys work out, you guys are, you lift. So if there's a cap that cannot be opened with your hands, you can slide a wrench in there, or I call it a scrunch. Slide it in there and loosen it. But I cannot, in any way possible, try to tighten it with this device. So we always just nice squeeze. Once it runs, it's going to get pressure. It's going to seal the gas tank. You have no problems. So just keep that in mind. That's why that's designed. Boom, cap, loosen again. So that's a cool little feature this guy has. All right, so back to starting procedure. So when it's warm, when it's a cold saw, you guys start your saws every morning. I think that's what I've been noticing. So when you cold start the saw, you want to choke it. You choke it, I prime it 4 or 5 times, pull the recoil, I'll hear a fire or pop, like a chainsaw, you'll hear a fire pop. Then you turn it to the start position. 1 or 2 pulls, starts. Now from this position to this position, it's on half throttle, meaning it's gonna let more gas in. It's gonna be a lot easier to start when it's cold. So once I start it from choke to start, this blade will start spinning. It's gonna be on half throttle. So what you gotta do to release that is just pinch it and release it from half throttle and let it idle. You want to let on any 2-stroke, 4-stroke engines, handheld equipment, in a cold start, just let it sit there. Count to 5, count to 10. Check your Instagram page. Just let it warm up. Get the fuel inside the fuel lines. Do not rev it up right away. It's no problem. It can handle it. It's just going to get more longevity of those piston rings if you have it. Let it sit there for a little bit. Once it's warmed up, I feather it, start it, and then you're ready to rock and roll. To shut it off, this has 2 features to shut off. It has a soft stop, so I can lightly tap it and it'll shut off immediately. So if I'm cutting a tree or cutting a vehicle, if I need to quickly shut it off, I can just tap it and the engine will shut off. I can lock it down for storage, or if I need to replace the blade, put fuel in the unit. But that's that feature right there. No more pulling and yanking and starting the saw. We have noticed these guys have been damaged. To the guys that are coming from the yanking, pulling, you will pull out this cord. You yank it pull. So you want to be as gentle as possible if you can. So start. That's it. Usually have 2 points of contact. If it's on the floor being the first, shoe, hand. It's really nice. You don't have to get on the ground if you're standing up or if you're on the incline. It's really nice to just put it between your legs. And that's the soft stop feature. We have a belt. So when you're running, you want to get some centrifugal force in that belt. So when you're running it, just kind of make a grip with your hand and then pull full throttle with any concrete saws. We're still using the other ones because what will tend to happen is it will shut off if you try to squeeze it. You're not giving enough time to move that belt to turn that blade. So. That's it. You just crank it or we turn on the trigger and we hold on to the chuck to make sure it's tight, right? Well, when you're using wood bits or metal bits, they're notorious this chuck to loosen because you're driving back and forth and it's just loosening up that chuck. There's actually a locking mechanism on this chuck, and the way you do it, I'll try to get a little closer so you can hear. You're gonna crank it, and then we're gonna move it back once, and it's a big long click, and there it is. Your chuck is completely 100% locked. This is a Jacobson chuck. 99.9% of the distributors out there, so your DeWalt chuck should have that. Milwaukee, hopefully it's already broken. You can go to Makita soon, but this is how properly. And then click. I'll pass it around so you guys can feel that. Does this matter? And you guys don't mess with this shoe or anything? No, just kind of that's where it is. And I'm gonna use it. All right, okay. So that's what that is. But it's very easy to adjust. Yeah, it'll still work, still operate, but yes. All right. The blade, when it pops out, the actual collar of the recip saw stays open. It should stay open. So when I grab another blade, I don't have to put it between my legs or use two hands and try to open it up and slide the blade in. I'll just grab my tool and it snaps in place. I'll double check and it's good to go. It can be inserted the opposite way, but it's locked, ready to go. You got your Raptor hood. It is brushless technology. All that means is it's electronically controlled, so you don't have any brushes. You don't have to service it. You have to buy those carbons that needs to be replaced every so often. This is all electronically controlled, so it runs a lot cooler. So it's not going to draw a lot of juice out of that battery, so you can more runtime. And noise. You guys don't have to worry about noise, but for a contractor that running a bunch of these saws, noise is a big deal. So having a brushless is really neat to have on this tool. And being brushless, all these tools, they cannot be operated in water, but it will run in water, no problem. If it gets wet, if it falls in a body of water, you just shake them out, no problem. This tool has a little port in the back to let water out. The batteries have little 4 ports on the battery. Everything is completely sealed off. There's actually a polymer that secures the actual cells. And there's a little motherboard that's also covered in polymer. A little fan. I can go 3 hours on this battery. Battery is super important when it comes to battery operated equipment. You got to know who makes the batteries. Do they outsource the batteries? Can I run it in a super high heat? Can it be cold? Memory. Remember memory. You don't want to leave your battery on the charger because it might create memory and discharge. With this guy, you don't have to. Slap it on the charger. If you guys forget, don't worry. It's going to shut off. If the battery is really hot, just slap it on the charger. It's going to ask the battery a bunch of questions: how hot you are, how long you've been running. If it's too hot, it will cool it down. A little fan will kick in and cool out the battery. So a lot of stuff goes onto this battery. We haven't changed this since 2005, and now we have 275 tools that operate this battery, not including the lifestyle stuff, the fans, the heated jackets, the coffee makers, all operate off this one little battery. So you guys got a really neat system here. Apparently it cuts glass, so it can be operating glass. You can just try it out. I just recommend if you do cut glass and then you're going to cut metal, you have a discharge port here, so you can just get out all the glass. I think that there's a couple of little mounds of glass around here somewhere, but you want to make sure you clean it out. You have an adjustable base or shoe.
Once, so this blade right here does cut metal, no sparks. So when you do start seeing it throw some sparks, that's a sign that the blade is going dull.
That's right.
And it's time to change the blade out. If you see any just few sparks, that's some of the segments or something. One of these teeth is already getting dull. It's not going to shoot out a line of sparks like you see on some of these saws that might do it. It'll never do that. If it does, you need to send it back, bring it back to me, and we'll take a look at it and see what happened. But 95% of the time, if not more, it's going to be the blade was dull.
To change the blade out, a thin screwdriver, anything that actually fits this device right here. So you slide it in. So it's going to lock. All right, there you go. So now it's nice and secure. You're good to go. Nice and secure. That tool's right, secure in there. You're going to push down, and then once it's loose, I just finger loose. That's all it really needs. Here's your plate, and then yeah, if this that is securely on there. Now with that, if I'm exchanging blades, and we're not paying attention, that brass ring is meant to fall out. Well, there's some concrete saws that can't convert from the 5/8 to an inch, or an inch to 5/8. So a lot of guys will just knock this ring out, and then they'll pop in their saw. But we give you both plates. So if it is missing, make sure you grab this guy. You grab this plate. See how it's completely different? You got a little dip in there, so that's going to fit right in there if that ring's not there. So we're going to slap it back in. Pop your plate. So I finger tighten the screw. And then what I look for before I tighten everything, I want to go look at the blade from this direction. You can look and just see those two plates are pressing the blade completely. So if there's no gaps, it's nice and flat, squeezed. That's what you want to see.
Okay.
Any kind of gap or anything, then something's missing. Then pop your guy in here again, and then just give it a nice good squeeze, and that's it. So I'm going to choke it, prime it, make sure I get some gas. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pull it. So I heard a fire, right? So if I continue pulling it, I'm shoving more gas in there and I'm flooding the engine. So I want to make sure I pay attention to that. Now, if it gets really loud, if you got stuff going on and you don't hear fire within the third or fourth pull, stop. Put it in the start position. So now that it's got fire, that's your start position right in the middle. Once I pull it, it's on half throttle, so it's going to be super easy to turn on. But as soon as it turns on, this place is going to start moving. I'm going to immediately release the throttle from half throttle to idle. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to pull it. That's it. So I need to adjust this. So I'm going to let it warm up. So I'm going to let it warm up. Like those guys being already kind of tuned up. If I'm pulling the truck early in the morning, I'm gonna let it idle for five seconds, minimum 5 seconds, but better, the more the better. Just let it idle, just let it warm up. So once it's nice and warmed up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a small like fist with my hand on the trigger. That blade, when it's idle, it's gonna take a few seconds, obviously. But what I want to see, Brandon, if I'm starting this with your truck, the first thing I want to see is that blade not moving. That blade's fine. So it completely idle, it's warmed up.
So you would say once the blade stops spinning, you can turn it off?
Yeah, I would turn it off because I want to make sure Now, if it takes 2 minutes, I mean, it only took what, maybe 30 seconds, maybe less than that. But if that's still spinning more than a minute, then we need to adjust something on there.
Okay. We only need to rev it up once. So that's
Yeah,
it.
rev it up once. Yeah, rev it up once. All your fuel lines and everything are ready to rock and roll. But then when you, so now it's holding the charge for 10, 15 minutes. So if something, you do get a call, you have to use it, just be aware that it's already warmed up. Yep. See, I gotta adjust this guy. Yeah, so this is a better example. Now that it's warmed up, you're good to go.